Hello, I'm back again with Vlogtober day 29. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and this is the first time I've had a chance to do a little bit of filming. When I got up this morning, I went straight into the whole process of freshening up the kitchen and bathrooms because I was having company, and I had to make soup and get the coffee and tea bits ready. And at 11 o'clock, I had some people show up. There were 4 people in the end. In the end, I had 4 guests. And it was just right because we were just sitting around my dining room table and everyone had knitting or crochet with them. And we ate some pumpkin donuts, which I had made last night. And another person had brought some blueberry muffins, which she had made. And another person brought fresh squeezed. Another person had brought fresh pressed apple juice. And I made coffee and tea. So that was awesome. I'm just about to have a second pumpkin donut because I'm feeling a little 11 o'clock-ish, even though it's 3 o'clock-ish. Snackish anyway. So we had a good time. The soup was good. I made soup with some frozen squash that I found in the freezer and carrots, yams, ginger, chipotle powder, which is probably my favorite spice in the history of the world, and fresh ginger. Did I already say that? That was mostly it. It was very simple and it was very tasty, and I blended it with the stick blender before we ate it, so it was smooth and it was very good. I have no idea what squash that was. It was either acorn squash or butternut. I thought it was acorn, but the skin looked really, really pale once I took it out of the freezer. So I'm not sure. But then a lot of squash tastes pretty similar, doesn't it? Anyway, it worked. So once everyone had left, I popped down to the fabric store and I took everyone their little treats and their little gifts. And now I'm back home. I had some good knitting time this morning. While I was having my friends over this morning, I started on the Atlantic wrist warmers, or they call them wristers. I call them fingerless mitts because they have a thumb. Wristers to me don't have thumbs. I started with a 6mm or size US 10 needle, but it was coming out far too big. So I switched to smaller size. These are the 9s or 5.5mm. And I made really good progress on the first one. I'd forgotten how much I love the look of cables. The yarn is the Scapious Truly Scrumptious Aran in Honeycomb Crunch. And yeah, they go fast. I've already started the thumb gusset, which is starting to stick out on this side. And I think there's a total of 4 cable crossings, of which I have done 2. So this project won't take long, which is nice. Instant gratification, I'm all about that. And I'm actually using a cable needle. This is the first time I've used a cable needle in absolutely years. And the impressive thing is I knew exactly where to find it. I am going to eat my donut now, and when I've washed my hands, maybe do a bit more knitting. Well, it looks like this Vlogtober episode is going to be exceedingly short. It's now evening. It's dark outside. I was thinking of going for a walk. I still might. But just having my post-dinner cup of tea. Had a bit of a headache today. I didn't sleep well last night. and whenever I woke up, my neck was creaking like mad, and it's still creaking like mad. And I think that the pain in my neck has caused the headache. I actually took a painkiller, which hardly ever happens. Anyway, that's okay. I'll feel better later. So I didn't do any more on the wrist warmers. Fingerless mitts. I'm going to call them fingerless mitts at the moment. So what I showed you earlier hasn't changed. I did finish this. It literally had half a round to go just to finish it off. Obviously been sitting in that bag for a long time. But now that it's finished, I can toss it in the laundry and put it into the rotation with all the others. I've got a lot of dishcloths. About half of them are ones that I've made and the other half are commercial ones, but I rarely use the commercial ones because I just like my own so much. Something very satisfying about using something you made yourself. The other thing is I wanted to get the festoon shawl started. And I put my extra light on because this is going to be challenging. It's skinny yarn, sock yarn, which I hardly ever use. And so it's thin. I'm using a 4.5mm hook. The pattern calls for a 4. I don't have a 4. This set of hooks didn't come with a 4. So rather than use a 3.75 again, which I just used for the bag and the flowers, decided to go for the 4.5. I crochet pretty tightly, so I think it'll be fine. So this is my first row completed. So much. But hey, it's now a work in progress and just not in the queue anymore. It's actually a work in progress. So it uses the extended single crochet stitch, which you start like a single crochet, but instead of just going pull up a loop, pull through 2, you pull up a loop, you pull through 1, then pull through 2. So it's just a taller version of single crochet. And yeah, well, I managed the first hurdle working into 63 chains. So I'm pretty happy about that. So we'll see how that goes. There's about 60 rows to this pattern, so even if I only do 1 row a day, it'll get done in 2 months, as long as I don't get discouraged from the slow-looking progress with the skinny yarn. All right, I'll talk to you again later. Well, as I said, this is going to be a really short video today. If you hear any noise from the kitchen, it's just one of my kids making their lunch for tomorrow. I've managed 5 whole rows on the festoon shawl. There's a little bit of increasing at the beginning and end of each row, but mostly it's just extended single crochet, and I'm having to peer at it pretty closely because my poor old eyes are not that great these days. It is a good start, at least. We'll pop him back in his bag with his hook. So that's 2 projects started today, 1 finished. I was just looking at this. I want to show you this bag. I was looking at my daily backpack, handbag, purse thing and thinking it looks a little tropical for winter use. It's got toucans and all sorts of bright colours on it. And I thought, okay, maybe I should change to a different bag for cold weather. So I pulled this one out again. It's a kind of backpack I made last year with a remnant of Berber chenille in this lovely bubblegum pink colour. And I also used a remnant of fleece to line it. and I used curtain grommets to thread the strap through. Unfortunately, even though they're really easy to snap on, they also let the fabric slip a little bit. I'm sure they're fantastic for actual curtains, which is a woven fabric and doesn't have a lot of stretching about. But in this fabric, where there's quite a lot of pull in certain directions and it's stretchy, it has pulled out of the grommets a few times, and I've had to fix it. I'm just going to have to watch that as I'm using it. The strap is pink yarn that I put through my little embellish knit thing. It's like a hand cranked I-cord maker. So I took some yarn, I made I-cord out of it, and then I chained it. Looks like I chained it. I'm trying to remember here. I think I chained it into a strap with a large crochet hook. So I basically made a chunky yarn out of a skinny yarn by making I-cord, and then I crochet chained it into the strap. And I just attached it with big D-rings and tabs at the bottom of the bag, so it acts like a backpack. And then I also put 2 zippered pockets inside, because we all need extra pockets, right? That's fun. A lot of people have commented on that and said how much they love it. So that's all, folks. I need to get myself to bed soon, and I better finish this up. So while it's uploading, I'm just going to carry on watching sewing videos. I've got a good one up right now by Rosie's Art Studio. It's Rosie's Art Studio. I suddenly second-guessed myself because I thought it must be Sewing Studio, but no, it's an Art Studio. And she has a lot of good tutorials. She has a fantastic one for zipper pouches, which have the tabs on either side with no dent. It's called like no dent sides. And she has the best method that I know of for putting in a zipper and top stitching it in such a way that it doesn't mess up when you're sewing the sides and making a mess. And I don't know why I don't use it every single time. Thing is, I can never remember how to do it, and I have to go look at the video. And sometimes I'm too lazy to look at the video. But right now I'm looking at one of her fabric basket ones, and she has this nifty little fold flat feature to it. So I'm watching that and hoping to learn something new. So far, so good. All right, so I'm gonna say goodnight, and tomorrow is the last day of October. One more Vlogtober. Wow. That month went by fast, didn't it? So I'll see you then. Bye.